What's going on, y'all? I'm back with another volume of Welcome to the Franchise here. Back to tap in with some more NBA. I know the playoffs will be starting this week with the Western Conference Finals kicking off tonight and the Eastern Conference Finals kicking off tomorrow between the Wolves and Thunder, Knicks and Pacers. This shit's going to be fun as shit to see. And we're going to see the aftermath of it all, also see who gets into the finals and after everyone after the finals settle and everything with that matchup. So I just want to tap into a little bit of what could be going on or some storylines or some shit that is going to be on our mind as fans watching the game or watching the all season with the NBA. And just play a couple little crazy games of like 2K GM here. So with that being said, let me tap straight into it. I just want to start off with this, right? With both coasts here. With the East, even after the result of the conference finals, the East is starting to look a little bit more wide open, right? Same thing with the West. I mean, not wide open, I would say, with the West, but the West is always tough and proves year in and year out to be a constant battle for the top spot to compete for the chip. And even though it's great to see the parity that's starting to emerge through, great roster building and team building that I spoke about in the previous volume, there's probably still like going to be a few crazy trades and big moves that are going to be made throughout the all season. And with this volume right here, I just want to talk about what us as fans, especially me as a fan, this is just coming from my mind here. Might sound a little crazy and, a little out the way there, but just want to talk about what we as fans probably would want to see, for other teams to compete, since now both coasts are open as far as an even competitive playing field perspective now, seeing how these players are shaped out. I mean, we've been seeing from the beginning of the year, we all thought that it was going to be Cavs, Celtics in the conference finals, probably Lakers, Thunder in the conference finals, or Denver Thunder in the conference finals. And that shit did not happen at all. I mean, the Thunder are in the conference finals, but we definitely didn't see no Pacers and Knicks being in the conference finals. I think some people had the Wolves getting bumped in the first or the second round. I know a lot of people did have them getting bumped in the first round once they saw them going up against the Lakers. So this shit is looking more like an even competitive playing field as of recently here. So that shit is fun to see, which to me, it looks like for other teams, they should be seeing this as their chance now. Like, yo, it's an even playing field now. Like, we got a shot too. We just got to make a couple moves here and there, and we could probably beat the Bostons of the world, the Knicks of the world, or the Cavs of the world. We could probably beat the Thunders and the Nuggets and the Lakers of the world, and shit like that. So we got to make these moves. It look like it's going to be one of those all seasons in real life where it's going to be, I think it was a few years ago, or maybe a few years ago, where they were saying in the media, like, oh, it's an arms race. Right now, everyone's trying to gear up and bolster up because LeBron and the Lakers did this, or KD and the Warriors did that. So now we got to do this and that in the next coming years and shit so we could try and have a chance to win the chip. I think you're still going to see a little bit more of that this all season. But as far as me looking at it, from my perspective, where, like I said, I think that a little bit more parity is starting to emerge on both coasts with the competition. And us as fans, let's keep it a buck. That's the shit that we really want to see. We want to see everyone really have a chance, but, you want to be evenly competitive and shit, instead of a bunch of niggas just always clicking up all the time, bunch of superstars all on one team, or not even just that. I think after a while, we kind of gotten tired of being like, I'm just going to watch the first round of the playoffs, or I don't care about watching the regular season. I just want to see my favorite players play, see what they do before they get knocked out the playoffs, until we have to watch, Boston and the Cavs play, or, the Lakers and whoever else on the West play that we know is going to be there. And now with the, the unfortunate situation with the Celtics and Jason Tatum now, who knows what it's going to look like a year now from them. I still expect them to be in the playoffs and be competitive as well. But now it's going to start looking different in years to come. So what I want to tap into here in this volume a little bit more is, some of the trade rumors or the moves that the media kind of been talking about and shit. And then I'm going to talk about, this the shit we probably really want to see, right? So people keep talking about Giannis or KD to the Rockets or to the Spurs. I ain't gonna hold you. To me, those ideas is some bullshit right there. I mean, teaming up Giannis with Wemby already, that shit is wild unfair. Basically, 2 7-footers that could do whatever the fuck they want, like playing together and shit. One could shoot the three, one could he has a bit of a mid range, but he just gonna barrel down and dunk on niggas and get mad rebounds, and he could pass too and shit. Like, come on now. Plus, I kind of like the core, the little young core that's been building through years that the Spurs got going on. I think that they should stick to that instead of trying to bring in another big star. They just got Fox in there. And I think you want to keep some of those young dudes and get them some experience in the playoffs. If you have some young key pieces that been there for a while that you can flip for a couple young veterans or a couple veterans to get you over the top, that's fine. That's part of the team building process. But to go straight for someone like Giannis with Wemby, I think that's some bullshit. I don't think that'd be a good look for the league. And I also think that it kind of be OD unfair. That'd be wild as hell. Now that's some real 2K GM type shit to me. Him going to the Rockets, same thing. I can't see it. I wouldn't want to see it because I think that core of young guys, they're going to figure it out eventually. Keep them together as long as you can. If you got to make a couple little unilateral roster moves with some young veterans or some older veterans here and there. I mean, they got a veteran in Van Fleet there. If you get another player or two like that on the roster without sacrificing some of your young core, the young core that you really need that help make the playoff push this year, keep that going because they're going to be the next new wave of up-and-coming niggas that are going to be similar to what OKC is now. You just got to give them time. I don't think they need a KD. I don't think they need a Giannis there. I don't think they need a Devin Booker there. Let them keep doing their thing and let this shit keep building on a slow grind process. Once Amen Thompson gets his jump shot down, once Jalen Green starts getting his conditioning right and really understanding that he is the star of the team, he's the number 1 scoring option. Let Jabari Smith keep doing his thing off the bench, hitting his threes here and there. Let Tari Eason keep doing his thing off the bench, hitting his threes here and there. Let Şengün keep doing his thing in the post and getting his footwork right and then start getting his 3-ball game up. You know what I mean? Let that slow grind process keep building. You don't need KD in there. And then what's some of the other trades they've been saying out here? A lot of other silly shit. It's mainly just based around, I'm sure y'all hear out there, based around KD and Giannis, and also them going to OKCs and, Giannis going to OKC or going to Golden State. And to me, I think that's bullshit also. But I'll say this. I can't leave it to them as they probably would know better because they know all that cap and contract bullshit and how it works with the apron and all this. They know all that shit. I obviously, I don't know that shit. I'm not no expert on that shit. But I'm just going to play a little game called, 2K Commissioner / GM here with some, suggested moves to keep the parity and competition. And I think it will be entertaining for, all teams and for the league. Like some trades that will probably be dope as fuck to see in real life. So I'm going to start off with this one. I spoke about it briefly on a previous volume, but I think it's time for a little bit of shake-up for both sides, for the player and for the team. And I think it would be a good fit if the player was there with the other 2 key players they have in place that are also still young, and with their culture. Ja Morant going to the Heat. I think that if Ja could get to the Heat while keeping Hero and Bam and a couple of young core pieces, I know you're going to have to sacrifice a good amount of them that the Heat do have, but you keep a couple of your young core pieces and you still keep Hero and Bam and you got Ja, I think that would be a good look, and they'll definitely be able to compete in the East and maybe find their way into a conference finals in the East Coast within the next year or 2. I think that would be a good look, and I think that Ja I think it's almost time. If not now, would be the best time for a change of scenery. I think the whole Grizzlies organization also needs a bit of a change of scenery. I'm not saying get rid of everybody, but I think that whole wave over there is kind of a wrap. You might probably want to think about getting rid of Jaren Jackson Jr. also, or maybe Bane, but I think Bane is the actual true leader on that roster. So you probably keep him there as a solidified mainstay for the roster and for the culture there. Now back to the Giannis part of it. I mean, you got them talking about Giannis to the Lakers maybe, or even Golden State. I don't know. I can see the LA shit going because they take big ass swings and they find some kind of way to pull out money from somewhere to pay these motherfuckers. And that's just what the Lakers do. And the Golden State, I can't really see it. It doesn't seem like I can't even say it doesn't seem like it's in Golden State's culture because they did get KD some years back. But just at this point, I don't see them wanting to do that. But in real life, it could really happen with either team. But for me, I would say, yo, this the shit I want to see. Just so that you keep, like I said, my thing is about keeping, parity and an even playing field competitive-wise. Keep this shit still mad hard, mad competitive. You don't know who's going to come out on top definitively, right? For me, you know what I'm saying, what I would want to see, a crazy trade like, yo, Giannis to Dallas, get Cooper Flag in Milwaukee, because wherever Giannis goes in real life, Milwaukee's going to be fucking irrelevant for a while. They're already kind of irrelevant, and they've been a playoff team for the last 3 years. They've definitely been irrelevant to me. I don't like watching them play outside of watching Giannis. Giannis is must-see TV also, but who the fuck else is there? I don't know the motherfuckers on that team, and I don't really like the way they play basketball. It's really just Giannis doing this thing, getting rebounds, scoring, dunking over niggas, getting a couple jump shots. He's more pass happy these days, making the right plays, again, the plays that we don't know involve and shit to try and win. But once Giannis leaves to wherever he's going to go, Golden State, OKC, Houston, Spurs, wherever, Lakers, they're going to be fucking irrelevant. So you might as well make that trade for that pick for Cooper Flag, keep Milwaukee relevant, and then, yo, Dallas. But I've been saying this before the Giannis thing too, is that, yo, Trae Young, we need to break this motherfucker out of jail, out of Atlanta over there. And I think Dallas will be a perfect fit for him, whether they got Giannis or not, because you got some guys there in Gafford and Lively that he could throw the lob to. He's still a distributing point guard, which those point guard, those kind of players still have value in this fucking league when it comes to winning. And he can still score as well, which they need that element as well. Have him distribute the ball to those guys and P.J. Washingtons and Klay Thompsons on the wing. And if you get another star in there or another scorer in there, you know what I'm saying? You have a chance to compete. But with him and Giannis, you're probably going to have to get Gafford or Lively or both out of there. But you got Giannis and you got Trae. You still got Klay. I imagine P.J. Washington is going to be going too. But you get some other guys there that are going to want to play there with Giannis and Trae. And now you might fuck around and compete for a championship and be in a better position to get a championship. Maybe for the Lakers or maybe for Houston or, maybe for the Spurs. Yeah, because they're still young. Yeah, maybe for the Spurs before they start running their little mini dynasty within the next 5 years, because they're gonna be a fucking problem if they keep staying on the run, roster building how they doing, and Wemby keeps maturing and growing in his game. So I think that would be good. That's just me playing, like I said, playing the crazy 2K, commissioner GM here of the trades I'd rather see for some parity here. But I think right here, this is the play. But like I said, in real life, the Golden State move, it might fuck around and be possible, So that would be a good one. And then what about Kuminga on Golden State right now? And I say this, he's not one of the big stars or the big household names that we know, but we seen what he did in the fucking playoffs this year. We seen a little bit of what he did last season, but we seen what the fuck that nigga did in the playoffs this year when Steph went down and they actually had to play this motherfucker. Like, he might be a young new wave star on the come up. And the Warriors is kind of dumb as fuck for not knowing how to use this nigga with Steph and the rest of them niggas. Or not giving him the burn so he can actually get in the rhythm and start doing this thing like he did against the T-Wolves and shit, right? What about him? Where does he go? Because it seems like they want to get rid of him and get some more veteran guys around Steph. Although me personally, in real life, I wouldn't do it. I would hold on to him for the future too, because Steph and Jimmy and Draymond, them niggas ain't playing forever. And you need a new wave of young stars that you got in your roster on the come up. A nice little nucleus. So, you got Pods, Kuminga, who else they got there? Quinn and Post, Santos. Yo, keep that little wave there. Start cooking up something there so you can still stay a little bit relevant. So then within the next 3 to 5 years, you're back competing strong in the playoffs again, right? But if you don't want to keep him, where does he go? You going to trade him to Milwaukee now for Giannis? Or do you trade him to Phoenix and try and get KD back? Now, Phoenix has something going on. They have their star now, even if they want to trade both KD and Booker. Or blow up the whole shit and trade all three of them niggas, which I think they need to do. They got to do it. Blow up the whole shit and get younger. Get younger, up-and-coming new niggas that's on the next wave of being, like, up-and-coming low-key stars to stars and start building around that. I think that's what they need to do. But try and get KD back, I don't think that's going to happen. I'll just say this real quick also. I think, honestly, that motherfucker in real life and me also, on my mind, playing 2K GM-wise, I think he should go back to OKC. Just sign there, and some of their young role player guys that they got there, you can make them trade so they could go to Phoenix and get their name hot and be some upcoming names that people want to watch. Maybe not stars, but maybe low-key upcoming stars, or just, low-key players that you like to watch as part of building a culture or building a roster to compete in the playoffs with Phoenix or something like that. They got a lot of... OKC is deep. They got a lot of young role player guys that could get busy on that squad that, if I go to Phoenix, I could start. If I go to Phoenix, I could get like 30, 40 minutes instead of just getting 15 or 20 and get my name out there, get my, get my game out there. So I think that KD might fuck around and go back to OKC, and I think that would be good for him for his brand and his legacy. To at least go out like that, because this is it. And the last few years after leaving the Warriors, it's been ugly. It's been real ugly for you, my boy. You ain't sniffed near a championship. You've been getting hurt, but aside to getting hurt, no one likes seeing him getting hurt. It happens, whatever. But aside from that, all you do is get buggers. Obviously, we all been knowing you ain't really a leader like that. Fine, cool. Get your money, get your buckets and shit. But you ain't sniffed nowhere near a championship. You ain't been a leading scorer like that. You ain't even been an MVP candidate like that in a while, since probably you was on the Brooklyn Nets. All the teams that you went to after the Warriors looked crazy out here. Now you just gonna do the same thing again to not win or not even be near a conference championship? Nah. Now your career and your legacy of your career, KD, one of my favorite players to watch also. So it's annoying and irritating to see how shit is going. You can't be going out like that. And I think that for your legacy, when it's over and off the court, I think it would be a good look. Either go back to where you won your only championships at, or go back to where it started and ride out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not advocating for him to come off the bench or whatever, because you got Jay Will who could do that, if he has to, right? But end it out with them young boys and bring that first and only championship to OKC with them young boys as like, hey, I'm just a hired gun, because that's how you play, right? I'm just a hired gun to get buckets, help these young niggas, finish what, I kind of started from, that I wasn't able to finish way back in the day. I think that would be a good look for him. Nice little homecoming, ride out, get the only chip for that franchise. Don't take all the credit, but contribute to it. Let SGA get the whole shine for it and everyone else, but you did your thing and you contributed to that, and retire there where it started. I think that would be good for your brand, for your legacy when it's solo, but that's just me. Some other trades maybe, though. Kuminga, are they going to ship him to somewhere like the Brooklyn Nets? Who the fuck would they even want from there? Or if anything, it's probably going to be a nigga like Zion getting shipped the fuck out of there if he stay on the same bullshit he been on with the Pelicans. They'll probably ship his ass out of there. But staying on Kuminga, or getting back to Kuminga, I think that for more skilled vets with size, that I think would mesh well. They got size and it would mesh well with the Warriors or with Steph, playing with Steph and Jimmy and Draymond. If Kuminga, the trade I would make, trade Kuminga to Chicago for Vucevic and maybe Lonzo. Lonzo will come off the bench, play some defense, get some steals. He's a big, tall guard to deal with those tall guards and wings that's playing out there in the West, like the OKCs, the Minnesotas, the Denvers and shit. Take that pressure off of Steph there, and he could distribute the ball as well. Or maybe a Kobe White, who's a big guard, 6'5" guy who could hit threes, so he could fit in that culture. But Vucevic, he can hit threes. He's got size. He gets some rebounds. He plays a little bit of defense. He's a vet also. And then let Kuminga shine and do his thing in Chicago. Get all the minutes and get all the buckets there, And then another team, I was saying with Orlando, maybe make a trade for Melo, but with how the damn lottery has shaped out with the picks and shit, I can't see him getting out of there with the pick that they're probably gonna get, right? Going to a place like Orlando. I said his brother over there talking about, I want to see him go to the LA Clippers. That shit would be fucking crazy. But I think that if they do that for what they got to give up and how it's gonna look, he's gonna be playing the same kind of basketball he's been playing in Charlotte for real. But maybe if LaMelo is not gonna be available, which that's crazy. That was my first little 2K GM trade I did. LaMelo going to Orlando, but if Orlando's not able to pull that off, or you keep LaMelo playing with a Brandon Miller and a VJ Edgecombe, or Brandon Miller and a Ace Bailey, Orlando should probably maybe take a few swings in the unilateral roster moves that still builds up their roster to compete and shit in the East. Try and get Anthony Simons, flip Cole Anthony and maybe Suggs or Cole Anthony and a few other players. See what you could get. Get Anthony Simons to get you a nice little wing player. You know what I'm saying? Could put up a few buckets, give you like 17 or 20 here and there with Franz and Paolo. And then maybe trade like a Wendell Carter or Isaac or someone else to like Denver for Michael Porter Jr. because he probably gonna get packed the fuck up out of there also. So you could bring some scoring off the bench. You actually have a jump shooter, someone who could get you a bit of an easy bucket off the bench with Orlando, so you could beat the Knicks and the Celtics and the Clevelands of the world and compete there. Just saying, it's just some crazy ideas there. But that's gonna wrap this up for this volume. Welcome to the franchise. Yo, y'all out there be easy.